Sponsored by everyone. Wow.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 3 of the Rainbow X Pitch League. Here we have a matchup between Mara, who's on Dromai, and Hazel, who's playing Kano. And today with me, I have my teammate and good friend and Kano expert, Kieran Carnegie. How you doing today?
Oh, good. Thank you.
Wonderful. So it looks like we're off to a pretty fast start here with a nourishing emptiness to start off on the Dromai side.
That is a spooky, spooky turn zero play.
It's a pretty powerful one here. There's no equipment that blocks here in this case, so it's probably likely to hit here. But it looks like we're gonna get some Kano activations at least beforehand. Now you've had a little bit of a look at these lists. Is there anything you've kind of noticed so far that you think this game might go in the direction of?
So when Kano plays into Dromai, generally the game ends the moment Themai resolves.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's the dragon that stops you being able to play in your opponent's turn. So Kano lists tend to just try to go as hard and as fast as they possibly can and burn the opponent down.
Okay, that makes sense. Especially with the lack of arcane barrier for the most part. It looks
Yes.
like that there's um, is that arcane barrier 1 from the crown? That's not spell void, is it?
No, it's Arcane Barrier 1.
Yeah, so we'll be relying on that and the dragons. Though looking at Mara's lists, it seems like she has very few blues.
Mm. Mara will be relying on her sand covers to prevent arcane damage.
Ah, yes, of course.
So Hazel there chose to just banish some cards and get rid of them because I assume they are digging as quickly as they can to find their critical combo pieces. So
Mm-hmm.
Lesson and Lava and Aether Wildfire being the two really important ones.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Aether Wildfire has done some pretty powerful stuff in the Blitz format, to the point where it did get banned.
Yep. However,
Um,
when I look at their list, they've
mm-hmm.
got a lot of unusual Kano choices.
Oh yeah, what kind of choices are we thinking there?
So we've got some instants like
Mm-hmm.
rewind, and also a lot of attacks.
Yes, I
So
did.
it's
Yep. Sorry.
it's really spooky because those are misses off the top of deck when you're going blind. And most Aether Wildfire strategies, and we can see they've even got the Spellfire Cloak for the fastest possible resources,
Mm-hmm.
rely on just being able to guarantee top deck does something when you go for the kill.
Of course. Now, do you think maybe the attacks won't be in, say, this sort of matchup where they might be looking for a quick combo kill instead? And perhaps
It's very
it's.
possible, but I could also see them deciding to run the poppers. When
Mm-hmm.
if Mara gets greedy, if Mara attacks with a Themai, I can slow the game down and I can pop it with a Command and Conquer or a Nourishing Emptiness.
Oh, yes, of course, of course. Okay, so we just have an E potion set up on Hazel's side, and here we have the first dragon. Mara deciding that she wants to do some arcane damage on her own with Asvalai. And of course, we have Marvel dragons here. Mara being very famous for her love of her dragons.
I've got to bring them out.
And it looks like she's not done. We have. Oh. Okay, so we kind of have a belittle effect going on here. It's going to get a Phoenix Flame. Not quite the same as the belittle minnowism, but it's a few extra resources here or an extra attack just to go a little bit wider. Of course, it's also a red card to turn on the dragons in the future if need be. Um,
And she can pitch that red to Flame Scale to make two resources here, right?
yes, yes. So
So quite effective as a red.
yeah, very interesting, very cool that we still have a belittle minnowism like kind of effect in the game.
Mm. So one thing worth considering when watching a match like this is that even though Mara currently has a
There's that Thamai we were talking
it's
about.
Thermite. So I was going to say, even though there is a 14 life lead, it doesn't really mean a lot against a Kano.
Mm-hmm.
As long as Kano can get you down to about 33, about 35, Wildfire kills you.
Yeah, very powerful card, very powerful combo. Now, with this Thamai being so early, is there a chance for Hazel to potentially kind of stem the bleeding a bit and just get rid of this dragon in their own turn rather than trying to combo off immediately now?
But Kano really struggles to kill Thermai because he has really mediocre access to cards that can target dragons compared to
Mm-hmm.
Icelander.
Right, yeah. Okay.
So if they're not running attacks,
Mm-hmm.
there's having a look at their list. No way.
Okay, so there's no way to one card cleanly destroy the
No,
dragon without being attack.
no.
Okay.
So a lot of players might run a red copy of Aether Dart specifically to kill Thermai,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't appear to be.
Yeah.
So this is probably the last turn where we can see a wildfire play. And this is a good hit. This is a really good hit to get the tome.
Yeah. So I imagine all this is happening in response to the Thermai resolving. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
absolutely, absolutely. We're going to see some Kano shenanigans because well, the game kind of ends here.
Yeah. It's a pretty rough position to be in, but this is what we're facing at the moment.
Mm.
Um, okay, so I'm still not quite sure what's happening here now.
So we're pitching a Blazing Aether to Crucible, which makes me think that they want to go for a Stormstriders and Ragamuffins play here.
Oh, did Mara just tilt the Thermai to show that it hasn't resolved yet? Is that what's
Yeah,
happened? Oh, okay.
yeah. It would be insanity to attack with it at this point. Do players get access to each other's lists?
No. No, so they don't know
Okay.
what's in each other's lists at the moment.
So I mean, it's a safe assumption that Kano's not running poppers, but
Yeah.
you're in such a good position from playing any. Oh, here we go.
Here's the first wildfire.
Here's the first
Um,
wildfire.
Crucially, the furnace has already been used as well, so we're not getting any additional resources from that here at the moment. We just have the 2 cards to work with in Mara's hand to try to prevent some damage here. Mara's list is very red heavy, so we will likely not see more than a spell void. Oh, sorry, arcane barrier, or maybe the Seeker's Gloves here to prevent some damage.
Mhm. And they aren't. She isn't running Oasis Respite either, so it's only the 2 sand covers that can negate this.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing as we're not seeing it, we're Hazel's in not a bad place.
Yep. We have seen a
So you,
Ragavan's activation as well, so Hazel knows what's on top of their deck right now. And Mara's contemplating another prevention potentially. Yep, we see another prevention there. So it's going to be prevented for 3. This means this wildfire's getting in for 2 damage, I believe. Oh, it was the
3. I think it's
oh,
only
sorry.
prevented 2. The Arcane Barrier 1 and the Seekers.
I got the Seekers confused with the what is it? Iron Hide. Whoops. Okay, so there's 4 damage because of the Metacarpus nodes as well. Is that right? Yes. Yeah, the Metacarpus nodes is activated as well.
And we are back. Now, unfortunately, with this Thermai on the stack, it's actually scared our resident Kano expert Kieran away, but don't worry, I'm still here to call all of the action. Now, if we catch up for a bit, there's an Aether Wildfire that's resolved for 4 damage after 2 of it was prevented. This blue sap that was still in the stack is now going to come in for 5 damage, that's a total of 9, meaning this Blazing Aether is coming in for 9, plus the additional 4 from the Wildfire. That's 4, plus 5, plus 9, plus 4, that's 22 damage, bringing Mara down from 38 to 16, and that's exactly the kind of turn that Hazel needed in order to stay in this game, but there's a Thermai facing them down. In addition to that, all of the equipment was used during this turn, which is going to leave Hazel a little bit defenseless from these Azvali arcane damage attacks, plus we're still in Mara's turn, and she got some dragons that are kinda hungry at this point. So here's the first dragon. Azvali comes in for 2 and 1, and this Thermai attacks for 3. Total of 6 damage, bringing the life totals down 18 to 16 in Hazel's favor. But that was the end of Mara's turn. Mara's going to get to draw up, and Hazel's not going to have any resources to do anything, so we're going to swing it back to Mara. And here we are. Both players have drawn up. We are back in Mara's turn. And we're going to probably see a red card. Here's a second Azvali. Now this is huge. There's no arcane damage. Rather, no arcane barrier to prevent the arcane damage on Hazel's side. So this is going to be an inevitable clock, if anything. But also, the split damage is just so hard to block in the first place. This 2 and 1, it's kind of like a Rosetta Thorn, but as an Ashwing, or a dragon, rather. So here's the first one. Are we going to contemplate any blocks? There's all 3 damage, no cards blocked there. Here's the second Azvali coming in, and there's another 3. No cards taken out of Hazel's hand yet. What is it going to take for Mara to take some cards out of Hazel's hand? And here we are, Miraging Metamorph. This is a 1 for 7. This is a Wartune Herald, and this is enough damage that we're going to get 1 card out of Hazel's hand, defending for 3, taking 4 damage. But Mara doesn't have any go again. She chose not to attack with the Thamai, respecting a Dragon Popper. But also, she got to arsenal a card. This could be crucial. This could be another red attack that enables her dragons to attack in the following turn. Or it could be a sand cover, one of the two that's in her list that we've yet to see. We're starting off Hazel's turn with a Crucible of Aetherweave into an Aether Spindle. This is 5 damage. Now, the first time I recorded this with Kieran, he was telling me this is exactly the kind of turn that they need in order to stay in this game. The life totals, while are a little bit far apart, aren't so far apart that a well-timed sort of combo turn inside of Hazel's own turn isn't without the realm's possibility. So this 5 damage is going to be key, because it's going to allow Hazel to opt 5. Now, Mara's thinking for a while here, maybe she has that sand cover, but in the meantime, I'd like to give a quick shout out to our Week 3 sponsors, Nick Muskvin, Card Merchant New Zealand, Manorcast, and Fresh and Buds. Thank you very much to those lovely people for giving us some fantastic spot prizes to give to our wonderful participants in the Rainbow Pitch League. Okay, so now we are back in Mara's turn. She's picked up that arsenal, and there it is. There's that sand cover, the 1 of 2. This is massive. This is preventing all 5 damage, and that's going to stop that Aether Spindle from doing anything here. Hazel's pitched to Kano in the hopes that maybe there's something off the top, but not quite, leaving Hazel with no card to arsenal, but probably that blue wasn't going to do much there anyway, so a little bit of a Hail Mary throw there. Didn't quite pan out. And Mara still got to keep some cards in hand. I believe that's 3. Let's see what happens from here. It's not looking great. Mara's very much got the tempo, very much got her foot on the gas. And let's see what happens. Some sort of red card with go again, maybe? There's a lot of thinking here, and we have an Enlightened Strike that looks stunning and gorgeous. I imagine, yep, I can see Mara's logo on there. She's done that herself. And she's elected to draw a card from this Enlightened Strike, which means it doesn't have go again, but she's very clearly signaling there's going to be a Snapdragon Scalers in the reaction step here. This is enough to take a card from Hazel's hand. That's being defended for 3, and it's 2 damage coming through to Hazel. Now, Mara still has a glutton of cards in hand and a glutton of dragons in play. We have a 2 and 1 here from the first Ash Ring. The first arcane damage has gone through, obviously, but we're getting another card here out of Hazel's hand. And here's another Azvalai. This is relentless. All the split damage coming through. So inefficient to block here. There's the 1 arcane damage. And there's another 2 physical damage. Hazel's on 2. This is looking pretty tough. What's Mara going to follow up with here? Is she going to respect the Pauper attack with the Thamai? Doesn't matter. Here's an Enlightened Strike. This is a massive play here. She chooses the +2 mode. That's 7 damage. That's going to force both cards out of Hazel's hand, taking them down to 1. Now, again, being on 1, that arcane damage being basically unpreventable at this point in this game is most likely over at this point. Hazel drawing 4, Mara's drawing 4 as well, and if we have a go again attack potentially, or a go again card, just to be safe, this could be the end of it. There we have the Sigil of Solace. That's gaining 3 life, undoing some of the damage, and once we see the attack of that Azvalai, that's going to be the game. So, thank you very much for joining us for Week 3. It was wonderful to have you, and we look forward to seeing you all in the near future with another video. Have a great day.